Hey everyone, this is your boy, it's Matt, and today I'm coming at you with another deck matchup. This time Eldlich versus Dark Magician. And I know what some of you might be saying, wait a minute, didn't you already do a Dark Magician versus Eldlich matchup previously? Yes, I did. You should go check my videos for that. But what's different about this video is that I'm actually doing the other side of the matchup, right? So I'm actually playing Eldlich here. So, I don't only play Dark Magician, I do play Eldlich sometimes, among a few other decks. Yeah, so I was playing Eldlich today on Yu-Gi-Oh! Omega, and I ran into another Dark Magician player. It's funny because like I usually do play Dark Magician on the Yu-Gi-Oh! Omega, and oftentimes when I'm playing on the ranked ladder, I do run into other Dark Magician players. And a lot of them who have their chat enabled usually like message me like, "Oh, I know you," or like, "Oh, are you the YouTuber?" or whatever. Like they usually like shout me out like in the chat or whatever. Because yeah, apparently more people than I realize actually watch my content, so I'm happy for that. So yeah, if you're one of those people who've run into run into me, dueling against me on Yu-Gi-Oh! Mega before in either like Dark Magician mirror, or in this, if you're the guy from this deck matchup here, comment down in the comments. I want to know. Tell me about it. So yeah, so I'm playing Eldlich. This is the best of three. We do go to three games. Unfortunately, because I'm really bad about saving replays on Yu-Gi-Oh! Mega, I only record game one and game three. Arguably, game one and game three are the more interesting games. Game two is really quick, and I'll go over what happens in game two after game one. Yeah, sorry, I'm really bad about saving replays, and the reason for that is because I'm used to playing EDO Pro, where in EDO Pro, at the end of every game it says, "Do you want to save a replay?" Right? Like there's a pop-up that says like save or no save, right? So it's a lot easier, like more intuitive for me to save replays on EDO Pro. Whereas on Yu-Gi-Oh! Mega, it doesn't give me a pop-up. It just shows me like a generic drop-down list of things like surrender, leave game, etc. And one of those options is save replay. So because it's not like the centerpiece or like the main thing they're asking about, sometimes I just like forget and then just skip right through it. So yeah. So honestly, like if I would have saved that replay because I did want to, I'm not excluding that replay just because it's the one game of the three that I lost. No, I'll definitely post games that I lose, right? It's just that I forgot. So if you're the guy that I'm facing in this video, sorry I didn't record game two. I'm not trying to like hide how I lost or anything. I'll talk about that later. But anyway, so let's get down to it. Starting with game one, Eldritch versus Dark Magician. I do lose a die roll and I do go second. So let's see what happens. So right off the bat, I have a pretty solid opening hand, right? Skill drain, always great to see, no matter what the matchup. Unless it's like an Eldritch Mirror, you'd always want to see skill drain. At least one of the Eldritch engine pieces, so you can get the Eldritch going. Pot of Prosperity always, or Extravagance always good, so you can just get more, just more traps in your hand. Ice Dragons for dealing with like annoying boss monsters, and then the Torrential just like the board wipe. So pretty solid opening. The only thing I would change is maybe I prefer like a Solemn Strike over Ice Dragons, but whatever. This is a fine hand. So let's see what he does. So my opponent opens up Preparation Rites, and he grabs the Soravis. Okay, baby. As soon as I saw this happen, I immediately knew I'm against a Dark Magician player. I know this is a Dark Magician guy that I'm playing right now. I mean, he might recognize my username. I don't know if you do or if he does, but like, so it's possible that he thinks that he's in the Dark Magician mirror. Who knows, right? But yeah, as soon as I saw the Soravis, I'm like, that means this guy already has Illusion of Chaos in hand. So yeah, if you see someone prep for Soravis, they already have Illusion in hand, or they're trying to go for a Secrets of Dark Magic play, fusing Soravis with Dark Magician in the hand. So for the Dragoon. So anyway, yeah, he does have the Illusion. He grabs the Souls. You love to see it. All right, puts back another card. Dark Magician Girl. Yep, all far so good. So he actually doesn't have the rods, so he sends Red Eyes Fusion for a draw, chaining Soul Servant, so that's correct. That's exactly what I would do, right? This guy has the good opening hand. Normal Rod, grab Circle. So the fact that he grabs Circle made me think, oh, he already has Eternal Soul or Salvation, right? Like, there's a clear order of priority of what you search off Rod. So yeah, the fact that he searched Circle means that he already has the other half, right? Or he has another Soul Servant. So Anaconda, Dragoon, here we go. You'll love to see it. Get the draw two. Circle Chain Soul. Yep, Servant. Grabs the Salvation. Alright, you got it. Alright, so I draw Trap Trick, which is good. I'm going to go ahead and Extravagance here and draw two. So, if he knew that... So, real quick. So, if he knew that he was against Eldlich, honestly, a turn one Pot of Extravagance negate would be good, because there's nothing else to negate. I'm just going to set 5 pass, right? But because I open Extravagance, I could also be a Toon World deck. I could also be like a Flaunderies deck, right? So there are other decks I can be. So hold it in the gate is smart if you don't know what deck you're playing against. So even if you recognize me, this is still the smart move. Just hold and see what he's actually playing. So what do I set? Let's. All right. So I set double skill drain, Elixir, Ice Dragons, and Trap Trick. All right. So why do I set these? Well, so I know that on the end phase he will flip Eternal Soul. So this is what a good Dark Magician player will do. And from so far, this guy seems to like watch, be in the know about playing Dark Magician. He's gonna flip this. He's gonna summon Dark Magician. He's gonna banish one of my cards. So if he banishes one of the skill drains, I have the other one, right? So my whole hope is that I can, Ice Dragons. Ice Dragons will be the main way I take out Dragoon, and I stop his negate with skill drain, right? And then Trap Trick will help me set another trap from my deck that might also help me maybe clear his board. So I don't think I want to set Torrential because like if he summons like Dark Magician is protected from Eternal Soul, like Dragoon is immune to Torrential, like there's no point in Torrentialing, right? So I'm holding Torrential and I'm holding Conquistador simply because I don't. Oh, why did I hold the Conquistador? If I know he has Eternal Soul, oh, because I don't want Conquistador to get banished. Yeah, that's why. Whereas if he banishes Elixir, that's okay. Yeah, I'd rather Conk not get banished because I might need it for a future turn. I remember that. Yeah. So end phase. He's gonna go. Yep, for the banish. All right, and then he's gonna banish my Trap Trick, which is fine, honestly. Like I can make do with the rest of what I have. So real quick thing to note. So on the new chain, he actually tributes Dark Magician Girl for cost to get Rod back. All right. So there's an important thing to know about this, and this is something that if you're a Dark Magician player, you should know. So normally, you want to tribute Dark Magician to get Rod back because on the next turn you want to immediately Eternal Soul, summon Dark Magician back from the graveyard, get another banish, right? Normally. But the fact that he tributed Dark Magician Girl means he has another vanilla Dark Magician in his hand, right? Because remember, if he has one in his hand, he'll use Eternal Soul to summon it, and then Salvation will bring DM Girl from the graveyard. So you get two bodies off of that, right? So it's definitely better to tribute the DM Girl if you have the other DM in your hand. So that's a giveaway. He has the other DM, which sucks because my goal was to use Ice Dragon's Prison to banish his Dragoon and his DM, but both his DMs are going to be on the field, so I'm not going to be able to do that. So I'm going to have to settle for banishing the DM Girl, which is still good because it shuts off Salvation and it reduces Soul Servant to one draw. So yeah, so just things that you should know about not only playing against DM, but also if you're DM, like, so far this dude is playing correctly. So alright. So draw phase. Alright, so my hope here, so we're going to enter a little bit of a Cold War situation here. So I want him to use, well, actually, no, I'm thinking about the wrong game. Never mind, now, let's proceed. So he's going to activate Eternal Soul and summon the Dark Magician. Alright, so now he's gonna attempt to banish Skill Drain, right? Now, I have another Skill Drain, so I don't care that this one gets banished, but the important thing is, what am I going to do in response? First, I'm going to Ice Dragon's Prison and target the Dark Magician Girl. So that'll banish Dark Magician, go Dragoon. Dragoon, that forces a Dragoon negate because obviously he doesn't want to lose his Dragoon. So he will negate with Upstart. And guess what? I'm going to chain the same skill drain that's going to get banished by Circle to Dragoon. Because remember, chains resolve backwards, so Circle is the last thing that happens. So this skill drain will negate this Dragoon. I'll get my banish off, and yeah. So why did I choose the same skill drain? Well, okay, because I have a second skill drain, right? And I want to bait his Anaconda. I want him to send Magicalized Fusion so I can chain my second skill drain and get Magicalized out. So if I can get Magicalized out of his deck, I don't have to deal with Dragoon again unless he has Secrets of Dark Magic, which if he's watching my content and my videos, he should be running Secrets of Dark Magic. But anyway, so yeah, that negates Dragoon. I get the banish, and then this skill drain goes away. Fine. So far, so good. Alright, what's next? He's going to grab Apprentice. Okay. So he's going to use Anaconda, send Magicalize, and I'm going to flip Skill Drain. Bam. No more Dragoons to deal with. So he's gonna special summon Apprentice Illusion. So I let him attack me directly. The reason for that is because, well, let's say that I summon Eldlich. Then he can, with that same attack, the first DM, send Apprentice Illusion to make it 48 in attack over Eldlich, and then he'll have 2,500 plus 500 left of attack, right? Um, oh, actually that's not a good reason. Never mind. I forget why I don't flip it here. So I flip it on the second attack because I want to see if he goes for the Apprentice or not, right? Because Apprentice can send from hand or field, right? I want to know if he's gonna. So if he's smart, he would not send Apprentice because he wants my Eldlich to stay on the field so he can banish my Eldlich on his turn, right? So yeah, he has Dark Magicians. He should link one of them, at least one of them away, and then as soon as like it's my draw phase. Actually no, because wait, this is his turn. Yeah, so I won't have access to Conk to pop Eternal Soul. So yeah, so on my draw phase, he'll be able to banish my Eldlich. So yeah, so that's what he should do. But instead, he's actually gonna go ahead and send the Apprentice here. All right, and then he makes Dark. The only reason he makes Dark is to send Dark Magician to the graveyard. Fine. He's gonna get a draw 1 because I banished his DM girl. All right, so at this point, I know that as soon as I bring Eldlich out, he's going to banish my Eldlich. I know that 100%. But here's the thing, and this is something that, Eldlich players like, oh, you want to run 3 Eldlich because what if one of your Eldliches get banned? You only need 1 Eldlich to win the game, as I will showcase you here, right? I'm okay if my first one gets banished, but I can't let my second one get banished. All right, so here's what we're going to do. So I set Eldlich, and I'm going to... Oh, no. I get my Conk first, right? He doesn't know I have a Conk in hand, but he knows I have this on the field. I'm going to set my second Conk and my Torrential, and I'm going to send the first Conk, the one that was searched, to the graveyard as cost, and summon the Eldlich. Alright, so if this guy is smart, he's going to use Eternal Soul Circle to banish Eldlich, not Skill Drain or anything else. So if you're a Dark Magician player, make sure you always banish the Eldlich monster. Don't banish anything else. And in this case, he is smart, and he does banish my Eldlich. Alright, that's okay, because I sent Conk to the graveyard as cost, I'm going to use Conk to search Elixir, which will bring out my second Eldlich, right? So check this out. Alright, so now I have an Elixir, and I have a Conquistador of the Golden Land. So now I can pop Eternal Soul or Circle. I would rather pop Eternal Soul, right? But yeah, you'll see that he's not going to leave me much choice. So here's what I would like to have happen. I would like for him to activate Eternal Soul on it first, then I chain Conk and then chain Sanguine, and then when the chain resolves, I'll bring out Eldlich, I'll bring out Conk, I'll pop Eternal Soul. He won't get the revive. Eternal Soul clears field. He won't get a banish, right? That's what I would like to happen, right? But he actually plays it smart and does not go for the premature Eternal Soul. Instead, he goes into battle phase here, right? So that forces me to Eldlich, right? And then he's going to chain Eternal Soul, and then he's going to try to banish my Eldlich, and I'm going to chain Conk, and I'm going to use Conk to pop the Dark Magical Circle, right? So even though I would prefer, again, I cannot let my second Eldlich get banned. The way I stop that banish is taking out Circle, right? And then I'll deal with Eternal Soul later. Because remember, I just sent Elixir to the graveyard, which means I'll have another Conk next turn, and I can take out Eternal Soul. Alright. But the point is, I forced him into battle phase, right? Like he couldn't make an Access play or any other Link play. So I pop his Circle. He doesn't get the banish. He kills my Conk. Doesn't matter. And then he goes into Imduck. What is it? Imduck, and then what? He goes into Mech Knight Crusader Avramax. And first I'm thinking, dude, what are you thinking? First of all, Avramax is strictly worse than Accesscode, in my opinion. Second of all, because not only is it harder to summon, but like it can't OTK or clear a board the way Accesscode can. Second of all, did you know? And if you're watching this video, did you know that Accesscode can actually out skill drain? How is that? Well, after you summon Accesscode, you won't be able to go to 50 to 100, but Accesscode has the ability that says banish a Link monster to pop a card on the field, right? You can banish itself as cost, right? So you get Accesscode out on the field, you banish itself as cost, and then you take out skill drain, right? That's if you want to clear skill drain. I mean, maybe you're just content with sitting on a 3k beater and a 2500 with Eternal Soul, which is fine. But yeah, I don't know. I still think Accesscode is probably better, especially if you want your rods to actually go off. Like, I don't know. It's up to you, but like, I just think it's bizarre that you're first of all running Avramax, and second of all that you decided to go for Avramax over like something else. But anyway, so this is main phase 2, so it doesn't matter. So end phase. Oh, nothing happens. Alright, so I'm going to draw a second skill drain, which is unnecessary at this point. So I'm going to get Conk. Now he's screwed. Eternal Soul is now in danger. And I'm just going to sit in defense mode and end my turn. The skill drain is just in case he takes out the first one. Alright. Illusion of Chaos. Okay. Rod. Okay. So he goes in battle phase. On battle phase, Conk will pop Eternal Soul. Clear his board. So, two things to notice. So, Avramax, normally when it gets destroyed by and goes to the graveyard, it bounces a card on your opponent's field. But, read this card. It says, if this linked summon card you control is sent to your grave by an opponent's card, then you can shuffle a card on the field into the deck. So, the fact that, yeah, so that's why, you should not, if you can avoid it, don't be the one to pop Avramax because you'll get bounced. But because Eternal Soul, which is their own card, sent Crusadia Avramax to the graveyard, then he's not going to get a bounce, right? So, alright, so he's going to go into Soul, summon Dark Magician, and that's it. So he's really screwed because now I drew Ice Dragon's Prison, and his other Dark Magician is on the field, and he doesn't have Eternal Soul. In the graveyard, and he doesn't have Eternal Soul, right? So I'm just going to go into Imduck. Imduck into the Wind Charmer here. And the reason I go to the Wind Charmer is because Pot of Extravagance banished my Lina the Light Charmer, right? Otherwise, Lina can revive Avramax, who's a light monster. And then I'm going to use Eldlich in the graveyard to unskill drain myself, summon itself to 3,500. And then that also means that the Wind Charmer can use its effect. I'm going to use Wind to grab Imduck from his graveyard. Imduck is a wind. And then I'm going to make Draco Masters of the Tenny, baby. Hell yeah. It's 2,600 beater. So, cannot be destroyed by an effect monster. Or in battle by an effect monster. And if I control no other effect monsters, so if my Eldlich gets outed, then I get to use this monster to pop. But the main reason for this is like I just want to get a 2,600 beater that cannot be easily outed, right? Yeah. Attack directly, and then I'm gonna set my Ice Dragons. I'm gonna set my Elixir, and then yeah, you know what's gonna happen next. He's gonna go for the Illusion of Chaos, grabbing Souls. Souls will summon the Dark Magician, and then I'm gonna use Ice Dragons to banish his two Dark Magicians. So yeah, very interesting game. It went to like 5 or 6 turns. I like the way that played out. Yeah, Ice Dragons is like the only way Eldlich has for Dragoon, unless we're able to successfully skill drain Dragoon, which works too. So yeah, fun game. So let me talk about game 2. So game 2, oh by the way, before I talk about game 2, let me show you my deck. So here's my Eldlich deck that I'm running. So note, it's slightly different than the one I posted on the last profile. I'm actually maining 2 Extrav, 2 Duality. I picked this up from playing this on Master Duel. I like these ratios. I'm less likely to see double Duality or double Extravagance. I usually see one of each, which is more ideal, right? I'm actually main decking Witch's Strike, and I'm side decking my Solemn Judgment. So yeah, so fairly similar to what you've seen before. I do have 3 Gozen match in the main deck, which is not good against Dark Magician matchup. So what do I side deck? I side deck. So I put in 3 Lava Golems. I take out my Lord of Heavenly Prisons. I take out my Gozen matches. I put in all my Judgments. I put in Broken Lines. I put in D-Barrier. And I put in Heavy Storm Duster. And I take out my take out Needle Ceilings, because Dark Magician usually don't put that many monsters on the board. I take out my, where is it? Oh, I take out my pots, because I usually side out my pots, games 2s and 3s, unless like I don't have a better side option. And I took out Gozen Match. And actually, so I'm taking out 3 Gozen Match. 1, 2. Are these all out? Yes, they're all out. Or take anything else out? No, I think this is it. So this is me siding, expecting to go second, right? So actually, in game 2, he makes me go first, which is surprising to me. So yeah, I open a board with like Judgment, Trap Trick, Conk, And I think the last card, Heavy Storm Duster, and what was the last card? I don't know, Solemn. I think it was Solemn Striker. Yeah, Solemn Strike. He opens Lightning Storm, which I use Solemn Judgments to stop. He goes into his he actually has a Sky Striker package. He goes into Anaconda. Well, I'm waiting for him to use Anaconda so I can Solemn Strike. But before that, he summons Souls, right, and uses Souls to send cards to the graveyard to draw. And he actually top decks his Feather Duster. So then he uses Harpy's Feather Duster, and then I just surrender. I'm like, okay, I'm at 4,000 life points. I can't stop his Feather Duster or his Dragoon. He's just gonna OTK me. There's no point in me. Yeah, so I scoop So yeah, quick game. I did not expect him to make me go first, but few things. Uh, in general, if you're Dark Magician playing against Eldlich, you definitely want to go first. All right, like I got the logic. Like you go second, and then you side in back row clear. But again, Harpy's Feather Duster and what is it? And Lightning Storm only worked because I did not have my Lord of the Heavenly Prison. Actually, I did not take out my Lord of Heavenly Prison. I did still have it in. What did I take out? I took out. I definitely had my Lord of Heavenly. I had two. I kept two of my Lord of Heavenly Prison. I'm just trying to think what I took out. Um. Oh no. Yeah, I sided only one Judgment because I thought I was going second, right? So yeah, I did draw my one copy of Judgment. So my dude, if I did have Lord of Heavenly Prison, your Lightning Storm and Harpy's Feather Duster would have been completely useless, right? So you can't. So you don't want to be choosing to go second against Eldlich because unless you have evenly matched, which he did not, it's not going to work. And even so, if you do have it evenly matched, you have to assume they don't have Judgment, which in this case I have one, right? Uh, but yeah, the idea behind the side deck is that I wanted Lava Golem so that because I was assuming I was going to go second. He puts up Dragoon and Verde Anaconda. I Lava Golem them away, right? So then game 3, I side out my Heavenly Prisons, and I put in both my Solemn Judgments. Oh, not Gozen. Get that out of there. All right. Yeah, so I do side these in. Or maybe I keep my Judgments out. I forget. Oh, I take out... No, I keep Broken Line. I want to say I kept one pot of Extravagance. I want to say. I mean, we'll see when the game starts. Yeah, or maybe I kept both pots. Yeah. So in game 3, I do choose to go second, right? So maybe he sided in for me going. Maybe he kept the same thing for me going first, but I do choose to go second because I want to Lava Golem him. I want him to put Anaconda and Dragoon on the field so I can Lava Golem, right? And I have so many ways to deal with Dragoon in this deck, like Skill Drain, Solemn Strike, Broken Line, Witch's Strike, Ice Dragon's Dimension D-Barrier, right? That I felt like, no matter what board he put up for going first, just like in game 1, I was going to break it, right? So I do choose to go first. So I do choose to go second. Oh, these Gozens keep sneaking back in here. All right, so yeah, I think this was my deck in game 3. All right, yeah, exit without saving, and then let's go back to replays. All right, game 3, which I did record. So I have a really good opening. Always good to have Solemn Judgment. Going second, especially in this matchup, it's really good, right? Lava Golem, I'm ready for the Anaconda Dragoon. D-Barrier to stop Dragoon. Heavy Storm Duster to clear his back row, and then one piece of my Eldlich engine to just get the game get it going, right? So he's actually going to hard play Razz Fusion, which is probably the best play you can make against Eldlich because if you don't have a second body, I cannot Lava Golem you, right? Just assume if you're against Eldlich, they have Lava Golem. So yeah, you don't want the second body on the board. So he hard plays Razz Fusion, which means, oh, my Lava Golem is dead. He's going to go for the Soul Servant, grab Salvation. I wonder if the reason that he does so little on this turn, I wonder because he did open Lightning Storm and he's like, oh, I don't have Lightning Storm targets, right? So yeah, he's just going to set Eternal Soul. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and set 5, pass. All right. So I have many ways to deal with this Dragoon, right? Obviously, I can either de-barrier him or I can bait him or threaten the Ice Dragon's Prison on Trap Trick, right? So let's see what I do. So end phase, he's going to get Dark Magician. Makes sense. Alright, so he normals Rod. Searches Circle. Okay. Activates Circle. So I'm going to chain Conquistador. Why do I do this? I do this because Trap Trick requires you to have an open slot on your back row for you to activate. Otherwise, you can't use it. And right now, my back row is full. So I do want to be able to Trap Trick. Right? Now that I see Dark Magical Circle, I think, okay, I want Trap Trick available. So I need to put this on the field, right? Alright, so I summon this. And then on resolution, I activate Heavy Storm Duster to snipe his Circle and Eternal Soul. So I was actually hoping to bait his Dragoon Negate, right? If he Dragoon Negates, then I debarrier him, call fusions, Dragoon gets negated, and Eternal Soul will destroy all his monsters, including Dragoon, that will be negated by Dimensional Barrier. So he did the right move by not negating with Dragoon. So that was the correct move. So good job, my guy. That was the right thing to do. But alas, you lose Eternal Soul and Circle. And since you already had one Soul Servant and you already used Rod Search, it's going to be a while before you get both of them back, right? Like the biggest bane to Eldlich is like having the Circle banishing your back row or your Eldlich, right? So Eternal Soul is going to clear his field. He's going to use Dragoon to pop this. I'm going to chain D-Barrier to basically negate fusion monsters and prevent him from fusion summoning for the turn, right? And then he's going to chain to negate D-Barrier, discarding DM Girl, which is correct. And then I'm going to chain Trap Trick. And Trap Trick is going to grab Ice Dragon's Prison. And I'm going to go ahead and banish DM and Dragoon here. Bam. And since he already used his normal summon on Rod, he's probably not going to get to Anaconda unless he also has a Striker package. So, and in any case, he's not going to OTK me. Like, I don't see a scenario where he has OTK here. So he's going to send Soul, summon Dark Magician, summon both of these, attack 45, which is correct. Like, right, you definitely want to get off 4,500 damage. And then he's going to Link Spider, Anaconda, and then Magicalize into a second Dragoon, right? Unfortunately for him, little does he know, I have a Lava Golem in my hand. So I was waiting for that Anaconda to come out. So, alright, let's see what happens. So draw phase, goodbye. Yeah, so now I just have to deal with the 3k beater, which is perfectly reasonable to deal with. Yeah, so both his Dark Magicians are banished, right? One of them was banished for Ice Dragon's Prison. The other was banished because he used Magicalized Fusion. So people say, oh, you should run 3 Dark Magicians in case your opponent banishes both of them. It's unlikely that both will get banished. It's more likely that one will get banished, and maybe you'll banish the other one yourself, right? So he chose to banish the other ones. He had his second Dragoon because he thought the second Dragoon would help him win, which is reasonable, right? But like, still does not justify 3 DM. So I'm gonna set this. I'm gonna use Conk to grab this. All right. So he's gonna burn for 1,000. He's gonna get prep, Illusion of Chaos. Yep, so far so good. Alright. Rod will grab Soul Servant. Yep, that's correct. So he goes into battle phase. At this point, that basically forces me to use my Elixir, because I don't want to take 3,000 from Lava Golem, right? So Elixir comes out. So when he declares attack on Lava Golem, I use Huaquero to banish the DM Girl. And then basically his Soul Servants can no longer draw him any cards. So, yeah, he's in a big pickle now. So, in this case, like, if he continues his attack, destroys Eldlich, Rod cannot attack over Huaquero. Or if he replays the attack, Lava Golem will attack Huaquero, and Rod cannot out the Eldlich. So that's why I summoned this in attack mode. If I summon defense mode, then that means that Lava Golem can kill Eldlich and Rod can kill Huaquero. So it's in attack mode. Yes, I'll take damage here, but it's worth it just to keep the presence of one monster on my field. So he's going to set a card. I assume it's Soul Servant, right? Because he doesn't go into Artemis, but he has a second Rod in Grave, so he doesn't need Artemis, right? So I'm going to draw another Huaquero. Okay. Let's go into attack mode. Forces him to use a Soul Servant. So he actually has a second circle in his deck. So, my guy, you should not be running 2 circle. I know 2 circle is fine, but go watch my videos, and you'll see that you do not need 2 circles. Like, you could have easily brought in your circle from the graveyard back on top of your deck, right? Just saying, like with the Soul Servant. But it's like, so circle is not going to do anything unless he has Magician's Souls, which, if he has Illusion of Chaos in hand, he can technically get both of them, right? And get a banish off. But I have Solemn Judgment, so I'm safe from all that. So yeah, he's gonna use Rod to recycle Rod. So that's cool. And then this is gonna grab me Conch, and I'm gonna set Huaquero, go end phase, and then get another elixir. So yeah, not looking good for him. He's gonna burn. He normals Girsu, which I thought was interesting. Like, does he not have illusion anymore? No, he has Rod in hand. Okay, I guess he must have put Illusion of Chaos back. That's okay. So Girsu is gonna mill that. Okay. Dark Magical Circle. Battle phase. I have to, I'm not gonna let him. I'm gonna pop his Lava Golem. So he goes for the tokens. I'm not sure why. Like, this is main phase 2. Like, unless you're going for an access code play, which you can't because I have no dark monsters for you to revive off the Dark Charmer, right? So he goes into dark. Surprise, there's no dark monsters in my graveyard because I'm an Eldlich deck. So yeah, he kind of just ends on the Dark Charmer. So yeah, not sure what all that's about. So I'd go ahead and bring out my other Eldlich. So technically, if Dark gets destroyed, he gets to search a monster, right? Doesn't really matter what the monster is, but I want to finish him off in style. I'm gonna go ahead for the rank 10 play. Burn for 2k. Rank up. Become 6k attack, and then beat over his ass, his Dark, with 6k attack. Goodbye. Bam. All right, GG. So, good game, my guy. Yeah. I noticed the Girsu tech. I wonder if either my video or one of the other Dark Magician players inspired you for that. I would still say you should keep Circle at 1. Like, I don't know. I feel like that second circle didn't really do much. And like, imagine if instead of that circle you had like, I don't know, just anything like Droplet. Granted it was an Eldlich matchup, so it's like, yeah, but you could have teched in, right? Like in place of those. So anyway, yeah. So that was a good game. So I won 2-1. Yeah, he didn't like his chat was disabled, so I couldn't even talk to him. Otherwise, I would have like commented and be like, "Yo, whose deck list are you copying?" Right? Or like, just like maybe see if he's aware of my channel. But anyway, yeah, he did play well. I don't think he misplayed or did anything egregiously bad. I did try to bait him a little bit, and he did not fall for it. So that's good. Yeah, he definitely seems to be a non-monkey Dark Magician player. So yeah, that was fun. But yeah, just wanted to show you the other side of that matchup. And yeah, Eldlich still a good deck. Not my favorite. Obviously, Dark Magician will always be my favorite. But yeah, so if you're watching this, my guy, consider the 50 card build. Consider Circle and Eternal Soul 1. Check out my videos. Hope you learned something. Hope the rest of you learned something as well. And that I hope that you all enjoyed this. All right. Take care. Later. See you on the next video. Peace.